Hey everyone, welcome to Inside the AI. Today we're going to be going over this n8n workflow. Essentially, what we're going to do is we're going to create a calendar agent. Now, let me show you what this will do for you. So I'm going to open this chat. I can come down here and I can copy and paste this prompt that I've already tested this out for you. So what I'm doing is I'm going to tell this calendar agent, which is my assistant, to create a calendar meeting for me tomorrow at 8 a.m. titled I Love You. Now, when I hit submit, this workflow is going to go through the agent. It's going to reserve my calendar and it says it succeeded. So now I have a calendar meeting tomorrow for 1 hour titled I Love You. So I'm going to delete this and I'm going to walk you through how to do this. So let me move this over here so that I have my working reference to go off of. And what I want to do is here is n8n. And when you create a new workflow up here on the right, we're going to have the editor mode. And the first thing we always want to do is retitle what we're doing. So this is going to be my AI assistant calendar. And you want to name it calendar because once in the next video I create, I'm going to link a couple of AI agents together. And so this is the foundation to a larger agent that can do anything. So the first step we want to do is start with the trigger. In n8n, we always start with the trigger. And so for the first one, we're going to start with an on chat trigger. And what this does is it's going to allow us, so here's our trigger, and this is going to allow us to open this chat window, and it's going to allow us to type in a message of which we can test out this workflow. So, that's pretty unimpressive right now, but what is useful is the next thing we do is we're going to connect an AI agent. And this is the agent right here in the middle of the screen. And this is essentially the next evolution of AI. We're giving AI legs and feet and arms to go out and execute tasks for us so we don't have to do them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up this AI agent and I'm going to make sure it understands what to do. So there's not much that you need to change in this. The only thing you need to do is add an option. And you're going to press system message. And this is going to tell the AI you're an assistant. However, that's really vague and you want to give it some more direction. So what we're going to do is I'm going to copy and paste this message in to the system message, and I will show it to you. Whenever you copy and paste this in, you want to make sure you press expression. And the reason you want to press expression is because we have some items in the prompt that are code. An example is right here where it says bracket $now. That's going to give the AI the date. So here's the prompt. Don't worry about screenshotting this. I'm going to put it in the description below. You can copy and paste it in. And for another tip, in my school community that's in the description below, you can just download this JSON file and this whole workflow can be yours. You don't have to go and recreate this. You can just download the JSON file. So now we have this done. The workflow is completed. It's going to create events, erase events, and do all of the work we need to do. So now the next step we can do, I'm going to show you something pretty interesting, is we're going to add in the AI. So now what we want to type is open AI. And now we have ChatGPT. And since this is already connected, if you need a video to connect ChatGPT, just let me know. All you have to do is grab the API key. This is done. We can hit back and this is good to go. You want to give it some memory. So you don't always have to do this, but I like to do this because when you have a calendar and you're talking with the AI and you're asking it, could you change the meeting? And you're referring to the last message, this will allow it to remember what you put in a second ago. So it's going to allow you back to 5 messages. So if you put in make a meeting for 8 o'clock tomorrow, and then you say, never mind, delete that meeting, it's going to understand it. However, if you did that same scenario and you didn't have this buffer window in there, you wouldn't be able to delete it. It would say, I don't understand what you want. So one of the next things we're going to do is this is going to be a lot of repetitive tasks, but we need to connect about 4 or 5 Google calendars. And you do this for each event you want to do. You can't do multiple for one, which is kind of annoying, but I understand it. You have to do one by one. So the first one is going to be create an event. We want to rename this as always. This is going to be update event, rename. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start from the top down. Oh, my Google credentials aren't connected. So let's see what happens. Oh, so now I have to go through and reconnect. So I've done all this before. So the next thing we need to do is we need to create an event for just random events. So we need to click the plus sign, make sure we have that plus. We're going to click Google Calendar, go down to the calendar, select create an event. It's already on create. And what we're going to do is everything stays the same, except we're going to change the start time to call the AI again. It's pretty repetitive, so it's easy if you have the copy and paste method, have it kind of worked out on the side and copy and paste it in. But again, if you need help, just reach out. I will make this for you. What is going on with it? We've run into another issue. You got to select the calendar. So if it was red, so that told us the calendar, and we have that done. So now we have 2 calendars made. Now, what's the next thing we need to do is another calendar. This is going to get an event. And what this is for, I'm prepping you. So this is for another video that's going to come out in a couple of days. But the reason you want to get an event is because what we're going to do is we're going to take this AI agent, merge it to a higher AI agent, and have that agent communicate to you and tell you all of your meetings you have coming up. So we collect the Google account again. This is going to change. The only thing that changes is to get many. And so what this is going to do is if you put in a prompt that says, hey, tell me what events I have tomorrow, this is what it's going to do for you. We're going to ask it to go to the AI and receive the directions again. And this is from AI the day before the meeting, requested, bam. We are good to go. And then we're going to copy the last one. So now we're going to back out of this and we have this one done. So we have creating events for people. We have creating events for just random tasks. And we have creating or getting your calendar so that it could tell you, and that's going to connect to a larger system. So we have 2 more calendars to connect. The next Google Calendar is going to be delete. So this is going to allow us to delete events. So if you made a mistake or someone wants to cancel, this will do it all on its own. And the important thing to note is this by itself is not as strong, but when we create that higher level person, what we're going to do is in the next video, we're going to create an AI agent that can message for you and send emails. And so we'll connect this to the agent that can send emails. And when that agent sends the email, so the next thing we need to do is we need to delete events. And the reason we need to do this is we are going to create another agent in the future. And that agent is going to be able to call Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is we're going to delete events. let me go ahead and call my Google Calendar. We're going to add that to the system. And I like to take a quick look to make sure it's actually connected. Create. This should be delete. I don't know why I didn't select delete, but we have delete events right here. We can select the email. And what we want to do is call OpenAI again. This is going to be very repetitive. This is why I mentioned copy and paste it in, but you can download the JSON file. So, okay. So the next thing I want to do is we need to add a field, and we need to add an end time. So we add end, and then we add another field, and we need to add a start time. So start. So now we have two boxes down here. I'm going to call the AI again for start time. And the syntax is pretty easy once you get used to working with the syntax. Again, always make sure that this goes to expression when you're going to type in something. So calling the AI. So we're going to call the AI and we're going to ask for the end time. And then the next thing is we're going to do the start time, same thing. I need to change that expression. It always happens to me. So now we have this set up. We are good to go. Let's hit back. Now we're going to add two endpoints. So we want to do two things. We want to put in transform data, edit fields right here. So we're going to add two of these. And what we want to do is we want to add in this, and we're going to click this, and it's going to give you this option right here. It's going to give you the option to filter through this data. And we're going to want a response. And I'll explain what we're doing here, but just roll with me on this. Trust the process. We will get it there. And we are good to go on this one. We're going to rename this success. So if this is successful, it will run this. If not, we will not be able to run this and we will have to start over. And then now what we can do is we can test this out. And I should have tested this out from the beginning, but here we go. We're going to say, create a meeting for tomorrow at 8 a.m. and title the meeting Hi, Bill. Let's just do that and see what happens. So now the process has gone through. It's hit the AI, hit the memory, went to the calendar, and it has succeeded.